when you have gone to bed at night and been stressed to the point of hearing voices, which I have, I'm happy to say so. Well, I'm not happy. It wasn't a great time. Today I'm on my way to see a furniture company. Worked with them before, and over the past few weeks I've basically built them a website, a WordPress website, and this is the day I show it to them. Which is kind of how website building happens. You get a brief, you build a draft, you don't show people, or I don't, and then you turn up at the end and say, look, this is what I think you wanted, and then we start tweaking things. I don't think I've ever done that and someone's turned around and said, I really don't like what you've done. That's not because I've necessarily done anything amazing, it's because I listen to the brief and show people examples of what it will look like. Yeah, so that's what's going to happen today. So there is a chance that she could turn around and say, what the hell is that? But I hope not. I'll let you know what she says. Okay, I've left the furniture company and I did what I said I would do, which is went in, showed her new site, and as I said, you're not really sure what's going to happen there, whether they're going to throw you out or say I like it, and fortunately, fingers crossed, said she liked it and really liked it, and to press on and finish the job. But what I'm going to talk about in the video there was some business topics discussed, is the side chat, which always happens when you go and see a business in this way, which is you talk. You're real people, aren't you? You don't just go in and do your job. You talk about, how are you? Things like that. And one of the side chats was about, what was it? Consultancy, let's call it that. She said to me, how are you getting on with your book? I said, oh, all right, She goes, did you send it off to, publishers and things? I said, well, actually I did. So I sent off 8 copies. I sent 8 copies to commissioning editors. And then I sent 1 copy to Lord Heseltine, who is David Cameron's mentor or advisor. Not a lot of people know that. But he is. And I sent 1 copy to the Scottish entrepreneur, who is their advisor, and I sent 1 to Angela Eagles, who is deputy business secretary for the Labour Party. And the reason I sent her a copy was mainly because I watched her interview with the guy from the Sunday Times, where she basically said, stop talking nonsense and absolute, and then she swore, which I thought was good. So I thought I'd send her a copy because she seems fairly straight talking. I'll see what she thinks. Anyway, she said, what happened? I said, well, they came back and it was interesting feedback. I mean, I had a letter from Heseltine saying, I can't help you. I advise the government. I can't be seen to be helping anybody individually, and fair enough. Can't argue with that. Still going to ask. I'll always ask if I think someone can help me, however outrageous it might seem. So I said, no, but what was interesting was the editor came back and what she said. Because she said, the first third, that's not easy to say, the first third of your book seems like a different book. Seems like some sort of self-help manual and new age. And I think what she was trying to say is, it didn't fit. If you're gonna write a book, which of course we did, you really must believe in what you're saying, and like ridiculously believe in it. And I'm open to questions. I read that and I was like, well, that That's the point. You've read the book and seen that there's something in a business book which is about emotions and life and psychology and thought it doesn't fit there. It's a self-help book. Whereas that is our point. Is business is very easy. If you read any book on business, it's very simple. You ring people up, you have something they want, and you sell it to them, and you make some money. Is it harder than that? Not really. A little. But that's the easy bit. And the hard bit is what people don't talk about, which is, in her words, when life is crapping on you, which of course it will do every day to some extent. There's no such thing as a perfect day, not really, because there's so many interactions. And so that's what what did we write a book for? Because we met 2,000 businesses and there are common threads to them all, and the main one is doing business is fairly simple. Doing business while your life is under intense pressure and attack almost, is very hard. And not acknowledging that is the main reason people go out of business. Or worse, they divorce. Or worse, they take their own lives. And some people do, because of money and business, which is tragic, isn't it, in a ridiculous way, you know? I can think of no worse reason to feel that way. So, my feedback from the publishing community is the first third of your book doesn't really fit in with a business business support topic. Whereas I argue against that fundamentally and say it's more important than the other two bits, which are about marketing and directors and all that sort of stuff. Because you'll go on tilt, and we talk about tilt, and anyone who plays poker knows immediately what I am talking about when I use the terminology on tilt. Okay, being on tilt when you play cards is when something has happened to affect your emotions, which means you're not thinking rationally, okay, because you can't, either stress or excitement or something. It doesn't have to be bad life pressures, it could be extremely positive ones. But the point is, they put you what they call in poker on tilt, which means you are not thinking the way you normally do. But worse still, which is why that's how you lose a lot of money playing poker, you don't know. Because the life and environment, you are reacting to it all the time, okay? So I get to the point, I don't want to go all, I suppose I do a bit hippie. It's, you're on tilt. And everybody's on tilt every day in business, because and examples from today, which came up in the conversation, because I said this, I said, well, I got some feedback, I'm going to ignore it. I'm going to ignore it because I believe in what we're doing and saying, to the point where I don't think that's right. So I'll stick with what I think. And that justifies what I think, because somebody in the community, what I'll call, what will I call it? The traditional thought process on business support and business inspiration and all that and leadership can't see how it all fits together in an overall business book, whereas any entrepreneur will know, me, you, I've always wanted to do that, you, will know that when you aren't employed by someone and you have to create your own income every month to support your family and your children, there is no pressure like that. Not really, in terms of the overwhelmingness of it all. And if you haven't had a sleepless night worrying about business, you would read that book and go, I don't really see how a self-help book fits into running a business. Whereas when you have gone to bed at night and been stressed to the point of hearing voices, which I have, I'm happy to say so. Well, I'm not happy. It wasn't a great time, but 15 years ago, stayed up for 48 hours trying to get money in, went to bed and someone's shouting at me in my head. What's all that about? That is stress and pressure to the point where something is not... How the hell do you run a business when you got that going on in your brain, right? I'm pleased to say they didn't hang around long. My point is, unless you have run your own business and you understand the overwhelming impact that has on how you think, and unless you're aware of that and you know what to do about it and how to control your emotions and be pure business, not emotion, you risk going out of business. Worse still, you risk paying for that event for many years, and worse still, impacting on your family and own life. And for those reasons, the first third of our book will be going nowhere, because we stand by it.